What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing a tier list for the new season, Operation Commanding Force, which is with Brava and the new season that's coming up, Rainbow Six Siege. So let's talk about the ops. So first, we're going to start with Brava. She's not currently on this list, but we are going to list her first and foremost. Brava, where I would put her is this is going to be Brava for now, because Grim is going to be a D tier, which we'll talk about in a second. So this is going to be Brava's indicator. So Brava, I'll place her in B tier. Her ability to take traps and cameras is going to be extremely good in like more advanced level of play, like for like comp or like higher elo. But it does, like, if you need to like destroy utility like bandit charges, mute jammers, it is a little bit worse than Twitch's drone for that specifically. So I do think that she's currently, in my eyes, is going to be a B tier operator. There's gonna be times where you can take captain traps and you can do a lot with this op, but I feel like it is a little overrated on how good people think it is going to be. Grim is going to be a D tier because, I mean, his gun is good, but that is literally the only thing about him. His ability is horrible. Like, if you're going to play Grim, you might as well just play IQ. IQ, I will put at a C tier. At least you can help, you know, find utility for your teammates. So, her gun is good as well. She basically functions like Grim does, but better. So, all right, now let's go through everybody else. You got some Ash. A tier, solid fragger. Only reason why she's not A tier is because she functions a good fragger, good getting in, and then but her utility is kind of lackluster. It really is about getting the speed and then getting the frags. Ayana is the best entry fragger in the game, which is basically why Ash is also so high, because they basically are almost identical ops, but Ayana has grenades. And then you got Sledge. I'm gonna play still Sledge at the S tier. I mean, Sledge is still an amazing op. He's a 3 armor now, so he's a little bit worse. So I definitely place him under Ayana, but still good. Definitely not an entry fragger anymore, though, but still has grenades. We got the Knock, A tier. Knock is extremely strong with the frag grenades as well. Knock's gun can be a little hit and miss, so that's why Knock is going to be a little bit lower, but you have the grenades and the ability to sneak around. Very strong. Who else has grenades? We're gonna have some Glads. Glad's gonna be C tier. Very situational op. Can be good, but you know, the rifle is a little rough to use sometimes. Castle. Castle's gonna be a B tier. Remember, this is more for the ranked, a little bit comp, but mostly ranked for you guys. So Castle, I think sits very solid at B tier. When he's picked, he's very strong most of the time, but overall, he is usually a very lackluster op in lower elo. So he's you have to have a strategy around this op, and if you don't, like, it just kind of, it's more situational. You're not going to pick Castle every round, you know. Warden, I was a little skeptical about this because I thought Warden was kind of a mid op, but honestly, I think Warden is an A tier op. Warden is a very, very strong defender op. His utility can stop smoke rushes or flash, like, you know, Yin Candelas. Amazing gun to shoot the enemy, and you have a nitro. So Warden is like Swiss Army knife of death, and he's a 2-speed, so definitely solid up. Speaking of which, Oryx, I'm going to place at the I'm gonna place Oryx at the S position because of the 1.5 scope. You have a 1.5 scope with an amazing gun. You have a bailiff to make rotates, and you have an ability that lets you climb up hatches, which gives you a lot of dimension to how you can run around the map. So I definitely think Oryx is an overall better op than Warden. You put a fragger on Oryx, and you're probably going to be doing pretty well. Pulse is going to be B tier as well. Like, again, like Castle, just situationally can be extremely strong, but very situationally, and if they do know that you are running around and they try to push you and isolate you, they can't take you out. But that does get into time. So Thermite, I'm gonna put it A tier as a hard breach. This is gonna be mostly a ranked playlist, I've decided. So Thermite, breach is the best. Gun is solid, but when you place that breach down, you are very exposed and in danger, and it is very tough to really get it off sometimes. Like, you can get the outside walls. Thermite is S tier if you're just going for an outside wall. Easy. But like when you're opening walls like inside the building, it is a little dangerous to do it as Thermite. And someone like Hibana can just do it very easily. I mean, yes, the breaches aren't going to be as good, but you can do it very safely. And a lot of times you don't die opening things while you're Hibaniing. Thermite can die a lot while opening. You're exposed. Ace is also going to be another hard breach that I'm going to put at the S tier, both above Thermite. Again, you can open walls very easily, and I feel like Ace's gun is a little bit more noob friendly. It's a little bit easier to use, and his gadget is pretty easy to use as well. You just huck it, and you're gonna go. Doc, we're gonna place him at the B tier. Doc is a kind of a more of a middle of the pack kind of middle of the pack kind of up, but the heals are nice, always good to go. And your guns 1-5 scopes all day. Rook kind of functions like Doc. And Doc also has a bailiff. Rook doesn't have a bailiff. I feel like Doc's ability is objectively better. So Monty, we're gonna place at the C tier. Situationally can be extremely strong, like with the glass, but if you pick Montaigne all the time, you're gonna see why Montaigne is a little bit weaker. But situationally can be very, very strong, including the blitz. Situationally can be very, very, very strong. Zero got a little bit of buff with his cameras being able, if you're spectating, you are going to be able to swap his cameras back and forth. He will have a hard breach charge, a Gon 6, and a gun with an extended barrel. Honestly, I'm seeing Zero more at the. I'm feeling like kind of like he's like the hard breach flank watch kind of vibe, a little bit of Swiss Army knife. I'm gonna play Zero at the B tier. You could argue that he could go either way, up or down, but I feel like Zero's versatility makes him a good pick on for any type of situation. So, and more cameras never really hurt. So, which I'm going to place the B tier just in terms of overall frag ability. F2 is a little hard to use, but the DMR is really strong, and the ability kind of functions like Brava's to like clear utility. So, I definitely think that Twitch is still in the B tier as an entry kind of fragger. Bandit, we're going to place Bandit at the B tier. Very situational, kind of like the castle, where you can like bandit trick and keep a wall completely closed the entire time. Very, very, very strong when it is used correctly, but a little lackluster on the amount of times that you can use that. Guns are good. Nitro, always good. Speaking of which, we got Cade next to the bandit, but Cade is going to be a little bit higher. I'm going to place Cade more at the S tier range because Cade's ability is a little bit easier to use for defenders, and for attackers, it is a pain in the butt to really open a wall that is Cade'd unless you have a Thatcher. Cade's guns are kind of mid, but you're not really picking Cade for his guns. You're picking it for his utility as well as a nitro. Just make do with his guns. Then you're going to have Thatcher, which Thatcher is always going to be an S tier because it just makes everything just so much easier. Like there are EMP impacts in the game right now, but Thatchers are just so much bigger, and that honestly anyone can really use them effectively. So that's just still a really solid pick. Jaeger, I'm going to place. Hey Dub, appreciate the process, baby. How we doing tonight? Jaeger, I'm going to place at the S tier. Just always a solid pick. You can't. I'll never think you're throwing if you pick Jaeger or Mine. They both have amazing guns. They have utility. You can't get grenaded or flat. Like they're both just solid. You can't go wrong with any of those two ups. Mute again. You got a little bit nerfed with that 3 armor, but Mute's ability is just to deny intel as well as keep walls closed, and then the shotgun with SMG 11 with a nitro is just Mute just has the kit. So Mute is always solid. If you have a guy who names Mute and can play Mute well, you're probably doing pretty good. Smoke as well. Smoke always a good op to have, just to set up the site. Someone can hold it down, deny them out. Like Smoke is always just the best op anchor in the game by far. Fuse, I'm going to place Fuse at the C tier. It would be D tier, except for the fact that Fuse does have hard breach charge. So there are situations where Fuse can be strong and the guns are pretty good. So can be strong, but a lot of times the cluster bombs are more for clearing utility and pushing the defenders out of an area more than trying to kill someone with your Fuse charges. It's probably not going to happen. Capkin, I'm going to place very high at the A tier. It is just very annoying at high or low elo to have to deal with these Capkin traps. When I'm having to swing through doors while looking for enemies that might be peeking me, having to look for Capkin traps in those moments gets you killed. That's why so many high elo players hit so many Capkin traps, because a lot of times we're looking for those gunfights and we're not really paying attention to the doors. So low yield players might not even look for the traps anyways. Capcan's always good just to get a couple free kills. Definitely can't go wrong with that. The Chonka is going to be my first D tier op. I mean, Lord Chonka, but just does nothing well. Like, try to convince me that Tachanka is better pick than Smoke for denial. I'm just going to call you crazy. Or Goyo. Goyo is also a very, very, very strong op. Can be countered pretty easily by, like, let's say a Twitch, but for all his utility, but he has an amazing gun, he has a nitro, and his ability is he has 4 canisters that really deny time if placed pretty decent. So Goyo, always strong up. Buck is another high tier op with a hard breach charge, so good gun, stop destruction, hard breach charge, and a gun 6. Like, Buck is always a solid pick. Always a solid pick. He's the only one that can really work the verticality of, you know, of vert, like the top part, other than like an Astra Zoph. But you know, Frost, I'm going to place at the 8 tier as well. Frost is just a shooter, good gun with a 1.5 scope, very, very strong. Has a shield and can set up the sight with the secondary shotgun. So like, a lot of times when I want to play Smoke, but I know we need a shield as kind of like a sight anchor, I'll pick a Frost because plays your traps down in kind of your blind spot. So even if they have to shoot those traps, or they're going to be downed. So if they shoot the traps, then it gives me that audio cue that someone's there. So that's why I like Frost when I'm playing in situations like that. Blackbeard, situationally can still be pretty strong, but overall gun is kind of mid. But you do have EMP impacts, so I definitely don't think Blackbeard is at the D tier because I do see some use out of Blackbeard, and sometimes you might be able to snag a couple freebies using the Blackbeard. Valkyrie, easy S tier, don't even think about it. Cameras wherever you want, good gun and nitro. Valkyrie is a very easily S tier operator. Same with Mira, very easy S tier operator. Don't even have to even glance or think about it whatsoever. These two ops, there's a reason why these are banned most of the time. These are powerhouse ops. Speaking of another powerhouse defender, you have a zombie. These 3 ops are the strongest defenders in the game, probably by far. I think that most people will come to that conclusion. A zombie, being able to throw like castle barricades on the fly wherever you want on the map. Mira, the ability to peek safely behind a mirror window to deal with an enemy that might be pushing up. Incredibly good at anchoring. And Valkyrie, placing cameras wherever you want, and they are kind of hard to find. So, Capital, D tier, situationally can be good. Hard breach charge, gone 6, but like if fire and smoke, fires are kind of iffy. The smokes aren't bad, but a lot of other operators have smoke, so gone 6 with hard breach charge, and like I'd rather just have a buck or maybe a 0 or something than a Capital or a Ying even. Ying would put at the 8 tier. I like the ability that Ying on the board is just a very strong op, good gun. Candelas are just nuts for just initiating the push. And then yeah, just all I can really say about Ying. Ying is extremely strong as an entry. Caveira, my first D tier operator. I feel like Caveira is kind of a throw pick. You can get away using Cav, and honestly, Cav is one of the most fun operators in the game to play. But Cav is kind of a throw pick. The guns are kind of mid, and you are just kind of playing pure aggression and using the ability where you can kind of be sneaky and silent. It is always good, but better stacks are going to be able to counter that very, very easily. Clash is just a horrible op. Just do not pick Clash. Just don't. I don't care if you are like 0 and 5. Just stop picking Clash. Like, Clash is not going to help you save or do anything. There are times where you can get away with using Clash, but a lot of times it's just Clash makes it so you have 4 defenders with guns and 1 without against 5 attackers with guns. It's just, I just see so many Clashes die. Every time I play against a Clash, I always just think free kill. I was just graded him every single time. Echo shotgun is extremely strong, as well as this SMG. You have bearing, you have impacts, and you have drones that you can drone your teammates around. Active intel. I'm gonna place Echo at the 8 tier personally. Maybe, I mean, I'll be crazy. I don't really think Echo is a plant denial with the Echoes not being invisible anymore, but I do think Echo is still really strong. Maestro, I think Maestro is a little bit weaker than Echo because the cameras you can't move them. The gun is tough, especially with the reload cancel. coming out, it honestly is going to make Maestro really tough because what reload cancel is going to do, his reload takes a long time. If you push him and he starts to shoot, he's going to have one bullet in his gun. So it's going to make him really, really, really bad. So LMGs are just going to be a lot weaker next season. So you have LMG or shotgun slug, I guess. Jackal, easy 8 here. Not much utility for the late round, but early round to like clear out the map. Very, very, very strong. One of the best at roam clearing in the game. Doke, first in terms of roam clearing, S tier. You have EMP impacts, help open the walls. You have DMR, but DMR it's okay. You can make do it. SPG-12 is backup, and your ability to just be able to call and then like push off of those calls with a coordinated stack is very, 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 very strong. The amount of pressure it puts on defenders too when they feel like they're threatened, it's definitely a mental, like, you're winning when that goes down. So Legion, I feel like Legion is one of the best roamers in the game, but I am going to place Legion at the 8s here because decent gun, impacts, and the ability is solid, but you have to be alive and kind of active on what you're doing with that ability, and it's easy to kind of get to shoot them. But he's one of the best roamers in the game because you always place his ability just random doors and windows and just kind of roam around and just go nuts. So I love playing Legion like that. Ella, I'm gonna place Ella at the C tier. Yeah, I'll place Ella at the C tier. Can be strong, but situationally, like, you have to play around your minds because the guns are a little bit weaker on Ella. The compensator change, which is going to take guns from a 15% recoil reduction with the compensator to a 35, it will make Ella a little bit stronger, but overall I do think Ella is a little bit weaker in terms of the frag potential, and you have a shield or barbed wire. You have to play around your minds, and there's just other operators that can do the same kind of thing and do it a little bit better. Thorn, another op that's I'm gonna place Thorn one step higher because I think Thorn's frag potential is one of the highest on defense. Amazing gun and a really good backup, and then you have a shield for the site, and the traps. If you play around the traps, kind of like Ella, you can get people killed by either by the traps or pressure them into a position where they can be dealt with. Normally not gonna kill with your traps, but you do have. It does give you the audio as well as pushing them out of a certain situation if you don't want them there. Zofia, A tier. Zofia is definitely not an S tier anymore in my eyes because your ability to entry Zofia is very, very, very low. Zofia is more of a like secondary entry now. Good gun, utility with 2 impacts, great. 2 concussion, great. Barbed or breaching charges, so you get more divert too. Like, it's always nice, but 3 armor Zof is just not an entry, and I feel like that has been a role forever. And now she's kind of in limbo. Like, you shouldn't always have a Zof, but sometimes Zof can be strong. A lot of times Zof can be strong, but you don't have that grenade utility like other ops, and then you just don't have that entry like POW like other ops do. So definitely hurts a little bit. Vigil, not going to put Vigil at C tier because in the right hands, Vigil can be strong in terms of the intel denial and the roam game. So Vigil can be a C tier, but is a little bit weaker and is definitely leaning towards a D tier in my eyes. Vinka, again, I think it's just weak. Honestly, I kind of want to place Finka at the D tier, but those heals can be kind of nice sometimes. If you have a good player on Finka and they kind of know what they're doing and they can use that gun properly, that's very hard to use now because the gun is a little mid. Can be strong because you can revive any of your teammates wherever they are on the map, and you can heal everyone 60 health. Quite a bit of health. So I'm not going to place Finka at the D tier, but I kind of want to, but I'm going to leave Finka at the C tier. Lion, very easy A tier. Good for just if someone's in the corner and you activate that call, the person basically has to stand there, and then you have flash, a good gun. I mean, everything about Lion is great. Or you have EMP impacts, so help open the wall. So a lot of times you're going to see people running, like, let's say a Thermite or an Ace with a Lion. So Lion is going to EMP impact whatever utilities on the wall or the hard breacher, and then like when the wall's getting open, get Lion scans so they can't run around the map, so you don't run around the site, so you can like just kind of swing on them. Alibi, I'm gonna place Alibi at the A tier. I don't think Alibi is as strong as Oryx now without that 1.5 scope, but Airlift to be able to set up the sight, and you have a shield. Alibi is a really strong op. That gun is still really good, but I don't think that anything on Alibi's kit makes her shine into the S tier currently. Maverick is going to be a C tier. Most times you're not going to really want to run a Maverick. The EMP impacts with the hard breacher combos going to be more than enough most of the time. Situationally can be strong if you feel like they're tricking and you don't really know how to deal with it. Maverick kind of forces through a trick very easily. I mean, you punch a hole in the wall and you can mav the entire wall open if you want. It is dangerous and not super easy to do for a lot of players. So even at high elo, it's definitely a little annoying to have to Maverick a wall down. Most people aren't going to want to do it. So Maverick is going to be C tier, being a little bit weaker. Nomad is going to be at the B tier, very strong on the flank watch. Good gun, ARX with a 1.5. Iona had hers taken away because that gun is too good. So Nomad still has that gun, exact same way that Iona had it. Utility is more for the flank watch though, no grenades, and you have flashbangs for the push. Nomad still is very strong op. Honestly, I do want to play Nomad more often. Just the initial pushing power of Nomad is just very low. So Nomad B tier. As a flank watch, probably the best in the game, but I think overall, like, the jabs aren't like super hard to get around. Actually, I'll put Nomad up a little bit. I still think it is the best flank watch in the game, even compared to Zero. So Gridlock, I think Gridlock is a D tier and just should never be picked, personally. I think that Nomad is better than Gridlock in every single way. Zero is better than Gridlock in every single way. There's no reason to really bring a Gridlock other than Nomad's banned and you don't have teammates that will watch camera, so you bring Gridlock, maybe. So Mozzie, good roamer, intel denial, and a good gun. I mean, and a nitro. So Mozzie can do a lot. His utility is a little lackluster if you don't get drones, but it does that until you pair a Mozzie with a mute, and it is very annoying to drone anything on the site. And a lot of times if that's have to peek with their faces, they're getting their faces ripped off. So Amaru, very situational, but situationally can be very strong. Actually, I'm gonna place Amaru at the C tier. Situationally can be very strong, but a lot of times you're not gonna pick an Amaru every round. You have a hard reach charge. But still, I just don't see Amaru getting picked all the time. So situational, for sure. Cali, again, situational. Gun extremely strong. And just winning that opening pick. If you peek the Cali, it functions like Blackbeard. You just rip that person apart. And you can use your ability to destroy shields as well as anything on the wall. Honestly, I kind of want to place Cali up a single notch above this because I feel like Cali has more uses than a lot of these ops. But it just feels wrong because that gun is a little like, it's very hot and cold sometimes. So I'm gonna place Cali out of the C tier. Melusi, I'm placing at the B tier. Her banshees are easy to deal with, but they do take a little bit of utility to destroy, or you have to peek with your face and then shoot it. MP5 without a 1.5 scope, no nitro, does have impacts, and is a 3 armor. So slow, but you have banshees that you can anchor the site down pretty well as Melusi, and Melusi is really strong to just counter that rat aggro aggression. So definitely still a strong op. But I personally miss the Melusi 3 speed. Rooney with a 3 armor. Rooney I'm going to place at the A tier. Rooney is still very strong, but her speed reduction definitely makes her a little bit weaker. But only DMR on defense, you can definitely rip people apart with this thing, and a lot of people really hate dealing with it. And the gates are always nice just to keep denying utility, destroying utility of the attackers as they run through the gate, and then they leave it there, and then you can bring it back up again. So Flores, easy S tier. Flores is one of the best operators of the game, just clearing out defending utility. Only real counter is mute or Mozzie even, but Flores is a really strong op. Definitely one of the best operators in the game on the attack side. I stand by that. I think Thunderbird is a C tier. Situationally can be good, but I feel like Doc outperforms Thunderbird in every single capacity. I think Doc has a better gun combination, can set up the site, and the heals work better. Thunderbird does have a nitro though, so that is brings Thunderbird over the D tier, but I feel like Thunderbird just doesn't have enough going on personally. Osa, I'm gonna bring Osa at the A tier. Does a lot of things that a lot of people can't do in this game with the Osa shield plants and the smokes. Like Osa is just really strong. Op guns are good, and the shields are just really, really, really hard. When the enemy team brings an Osa, you definitely have to plan around how you're going to deal with an Osa. Sens, I think, is one of the worst operators in the game, personally. Not only are the smokes are fine if you couldn't just impact or nitro the smokes away. You can just take them away with explosives. Or if they have a warden, then you just get a bunch of freebies. So that's a lot of times why I like playing warden is that anyone runs like smokes, goes for anything weird, warden can instantly cancel that instantly. If the enemy team sees that you are running warden actively, you can never play that aggression that does catch a lot of people off guard. Solos, one of the best operators in the game. You can run around the map and just so much aggression. Find the attack utility, the claymore. It's just you can just be so aggressive with Solos because you have the intel on at the flip of the visor, so you can just easily tell what's going on. So good gun too, and SMG11 backup. So shotgun is a little mid, I will say. But hey guys, this is the tier list for Operation Commanding Force. If you guys have any questions, who you agree or disagree with, let me know down below in the comments below. Anyone on stream, let me know if you agree with the vast majority of this, or who you think you should move up a notch or two. Like, don't hit me with a DM saying Zero needs to go from A tier to S tier. Try to, if you think that he should go A tier, leave me a comment saying I think Zero should be A tier because of this, and explain your reasoning why. I'll fire back with you guys. We'll have a conversation about it. So hey, Commanding Force coming out soon, guys. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I know you guys are too. So hey, peace out, guys. Until next time, make sure to drop a comment, leave a like, and subscribe for more. Until next time, guys. Peace out.